This week on World Stories. Iraq, a glimmer of hope in Mosul. Nigeria, the streaming battle for Nollywood. But first to Moldova, this tiny Eastern European nation is blighted by corruption and mismanagement. Do people in one of Europe's poorest countries believe either the EU or Russia can help?
Those who want to leave the hustle and bustle of a big city behind are in the right place in Butucenia. Some 200 people live here. Almost all the people here are older or are taking care of them, like Ivan Babenko. His family has lived here for generations, just like almost everyone in the village. I want to find out if the people in Butucenia feel closer to Russia or Europe, because this is the question currently dividing the politicians in Moldova.
I definitely want to stay here. I'm not drawn to Russia or Romania. My parents live here.
In the afternoon, apples and potatoes are sold from a mobile kiosk. I ask the villagers how they're all doing. This man says, bad, very bad. He says that no one knows which partner would be better to improve their lot. He thinks that both Europe and Ukraine are doing badly. The only grocery store in Butucenia, the magazine, is not doing well. Shop owner David Babenko complains that with average wages of 300 euros a month, people prefer to grow their own food. Everyone just wants to save as much as possible.
We need a stronger politician who will finally lead us out of the crisis, one we can be proud of, so that the young people don't move away, so that there's work for everybody here again. I worked together with Russians during my lifetime and with Romanians. Let me put it this way, we have to get along with everyone.
For almost 10 years, pro-European parties have been in power in Moldova. But despite millions of euros in financial aid from the West, the economic situation has hardly improved. At the end of the day, Ivan Babenko does show us a bit of Europe here, after all. In his house, where he lives with his parents. It's on TV.
Nigerian movies aren't just popular in Africa. A homegrown streaming service is helping Nollywood go global. But can it see off the competition?
Idowu Ridwan is in his element here. The film editor is working on season 2 of the Nigerian series Single Ladies. He cuts up to 2 episodes a day. Single Ladies features love, dating, marriage, family dynamics, all ingredients for a hit.
No, that's not what I mean. Mama, no.
This is one of the series that speaks.
This series speaks for ladies.
For ladies.
It covers everything about the relationships with men. Men who are married, men who are not committed. It is about friendship with men too.
Friendship could be the reason why you have to break up with your man.
I'm a single man, and I learned some things from this series as well.
1 or 2 things from the series also.
100 people work here in the Iroko office in Lagos. Here, everything is about film. The company started as a streaming platform providing Nollywood films on demand. For the equivalent of €5 a year, users can access thousands of films on the site. To avoid paying Nigeria's higher mobile internet fees, customers can go directly to the Iroko stand and have films sent to them at no extra charge. Iroko co-founder Jason Njoku is a respected figure in the Lagos startup scene. He's often invited to be a speaker at conferences. His portfolio now includes his own TV channels in Nigeria and abroad. The company also produces most of the films it shows.
the big challenge for us is how do we build our platform in a market where internet adoption isn't widespread. Education is still a challenge. People still don't have a lot of money. So there are a lot of macro things which really go against our ability to build a platform. But we feel that over the next 15, 20 years, we'll build a really big platform, it's really important. And our hope is obviously that we can kind of find out ways to drive value from that going forward.
Well, not quite. Irroko's streaming platform is in its 7th year and is still burning through investors' money. The company hopes to make a profit next year. But the happy ending that is a must for every good Nollywood movie is still in the future.
Mosul was under the control of the so-called Islamic State for 3 years. Now the city's east is coming back to life. In the old town, the first school has reopened.
It's a day of celebration for these children. Now the first school in Mosul's old town is reopening. Under IS rule, there were no lessons here. Children were not allowed to attend school. Now 300 pupils are able to study here once more. An Iraqi volunteer group raised $10,000 to rebuild the Al-Makaseb school from a bombed-out shell. A girl recites poetry at the opening ceremony. Red handprints left on the school walls for good fortune and to ward off evil spirits. The reopening of the school is one step in Mosul's long road to recovery.
I hope they open more schools so that education and life can improve. My wish is a better future for the old city of Mosul.
This part of the city has suffered greatly from the tyranny of the Islamic State. There are still dead bodies lying around the city. The smell of the dead is still in the air.
After leaving the school and driving through the neighbourhood, you realise that it is an oasis amongst the rubble. Bombed-out houses line the streets. Mosul's historic old town was the last part of the city to be liberated from the so-called Islamic State. IS fighters were holed up in the maze of narrow alleyways here, forcing the Iraqi army to fight a slow house-to-house battle to root out any remaining pockets of resistance. This woman fled Mosul when it was under IS control. She only recently returned to the city to find her home completely destroyed. Many of the children here have suffered a similar fate. Yet, while their homes lie in ruins, now at least there is a refuge for them here in the school, and hope for a more secure and stable future.
Women in Russia are banned from doing hundreds of jobs that are deemed dangerous. But many now say it's time to overturn these prohibitions.
For power tools is hardly a crime. But in Russia, this repair and remodeling business is officially illegal because Yulia and Nadia run it, and they're women. In Russia, women are banned from more than 450 jobs. They're considered too dangerous. Carpentry, plumbing, and electrical work are on the list. Also legally off limits for women at work, lifting more than 10 kilos more than twice an hour. Yulia and Nadia are pushing back against these laws and against gender stereotypes.
People only very rarely react well to our work, especially men. People don't say, "It's great that you do that." They're usually incredulous or they just laugh. They react negatively.
Protecting women and their reproductive organs from dangerous work is a remnant from post-war Soviet Russia, when the government wanted to increase the birth rate. But the latest list of banned professions was passed in 2000, and many Russians still approve of its spirit.
Earning money, earning an existence for the family. That's men's work. For a long, long time, men were hunters, and women guarded the hearth at home.
Women probably can't carry railway ties, and men would probably find it hard to knit or do embroidery, so everyone has their role.
Yulia Ostrovskaya from the Center for Social and Labor Rights in Moscow thinks the list of banned women's professions is outdated and discriminatory.
The list of professions needs to be reviewed to see if they're dangerous nowadays. And if the working conditions are dangerous, then they would have just as negative an effect on men as on women. This law treats women and men differently.
For Yulia and Nadia, changing attitudes to gender is as important as renovating apartments. They make a point of only working for women and of treating their clients as equals.
Sometimes a client will say, "That's interesting, that's probably hard." We tell her, "Grab the wrench and don't pull it too tight." And often our clients end up helping with repairs, and of course we don't charge them.
Instead of sticking to Russian labor laws, Yulia and Nadia hope to expand their business, hire other women, and put such work within the reach of a new generation.